What's up guys, Bloodshed here, bringing you a Speed Rathma build for Diablo 3 patch 2.6 season 11. Now this Necromancer speed build, I call it the Speed-Rath build. There's no blood rush in the build itself, but there's a lot of other unique speed mechanics built in to the Necromancer. And Travis Day was in chat and he said that they're going to fix the Fueled by Death passive, which is already fixed on console by the way, so there's proof that it's coming. It's going to give us even more movement speed. There's also a hot fix coming to the Rathma set where it's easier to ramp up your damage a lot faster. You actually only need 4 active mages instead of 10. So this build might evolve over time. I might add singularity to the build. But as of right now, it absolutely crushes. As you might have saw in the video, I'm only using 800 Paragon, full ancient gear though. No augments. So this build is really strong right out the gate. It does lack a little bit of speed, but like I said, with the other abilities built in there, you're gonna have a lot of land speed, okay? We're gonna go with the Bone Armor Speed Rune, which it increases your movement speed by 1% for each enemy hit. So we're getting movement speed that way. In addition, we're using Decrepify Opportunist, gain 3% movement speed for every enemy cursed up to a maximum of 30%. So you can see we have the 30% from Opportunist. We have the Bone Armor with a stacking speed increase, and then once they fix Fueled by Death, we'll have another 30% movement speed increase on top of it. And to make it even faster, you can swap out. Right now I'm using Bane of the Powerful, but you can easily swap it out for like a Boon of the Hoarder or a Wreath of Lightning to get even more movement speed, which is eventually what we're going to do. So just keep checking the link down in the description. It's going to evolve over time. A lot of this stuff is kind of a work in progress, as the Necromancer's not even done getting buffed and patched and all this stuff. So things are going to keep changing. So we did talk about the speed in the build a little bit. We're going to actually delve deeper just to kind of go into the inner workings of the build itself. So let me switch over here. One main thing about the build is we're using Frosties, Frostburns, okay? Ideally, as far as stats go, let me just kind of skip ahead. You're going to want attack speed and area damage is what I find to be the 2 most useful stats, since we don't need cooldown. We're not using Army of the Dead in this build. You know, if they do nerf, if they do buff it, you might see it pop in the build, but as of right now, I don't use it. Attack speed and area damage are your friends. I didn't have any attack speed, area damage Frosties, so this is what we got. Double crit would be ideal for your first 2 main stats. But yeah, so what happens with the cold skills is even your skeletons, your mages, they have a 50% chance to stun enemies, okay? And you're doing more cold damage inherently. And that's going to proc Crispin's Sentence, a 300% multiplicative damage. It's proccing all the time. You don't even have to worry about it. It's very, I guess, kind of lazy, but also active. It does feel like Melee-Mancer / pet build. I really like this build. It's kind of slow on the movement speed side, but like I said, I think we're going to rectify that. I'm using a Topaz in the Helm for reduced resource cost. It gives you 12.5% resource cost. Since I'm using Bone Armor, I'm using the Kalan Amulet to stack with it. You can see my gear is not the best. Nemesis Bracers for obvious reasons, really solid overall. The weapon, area damage, attack speed. This would be like an ideally rolled weapon. The Skeletal Mage Ring to get 2 mages is really good. We're going to be dropping Decrepifies everywhere on the battlefield, and that's going to proc our Dainty's Blessing. That's going to proc Tragul's Cursed Scythe. So we're going to be doing 200 additional damage to cursed enemies. So you can see everything kind of synergizes together perfectly. Tasker and Theo buffs all of your pets. That's a no-brainer. Actually, I'm not using Bane of the Powerful. I switched it out. I'm using Esoteric, okay? So we might sacrifice something like maybe Survivability if they buff the set, or we get, you know, Survivability somewhere else for actually more movement speed. But we'll see. We'll see how much things go. It'll evolve over time, like I'm saying. But this is one of my favorite builds that we made on stream, and I'm super happy. You know, it's not so flashy, but it's definitely, I think, hits the theme. You know, it's Melee-Mancer-esque with a pet build kind of built into it. Extended Servitude increases the duration of your skeletons. A little bit of survivability. I'm using Grizzly Tribute, but you can swap it out for whatever you want. We are swinging Grim Scythe. It's also giving us resource back pretty well actually. And Swift Harvesting kicks in there. Malediction for more damage with the curses. Devouring Auras giving us resource for the mages. With Frostburns, Command Skeletons is going to be stunning anyway, so you don't really need Freezing Grasp. But I find just an extra freeze on command is better than nothing, especially for Rift Guardians. So I've played around with a few of them. I might switch it up, but I really like freezing grass still, even though we already stun all the time with Frosties. But yeah, that's going to be all for me today. Yo, big shout out to the Twitch subs out there. I see you guys. Big shout out to the patrons. Thank you for supporting me every month, allowing me to do what I do, and the videos help the community also, so thank you for that. We all thank you. Yo, check me out at twitch.tv/bloodshed. We stream there 5-6 days a week. Right now we're doing a lot of Necromancer testing, so check out the channel for that. I'm rambling. This is the Bloodshed, and I'm out of here. Peace.